All right, here we are joined back for a Week 16 predictions video. We have two people with us this time, which is really interesting. We got Jimmy, he's the Rams user,
Hey guys.
and CJ, he's the Seahawks user.
Yo, what's up?
Both just had a great game. I don't know if I saw there's a whole bunch of the league in there watching, 5 or 6 people. It was a great game to watch. Good stuff. We're going to do our normal thing, except we're going to have a small playoff breakdown in there. We're going to go over weekly and yearly awards, as well as all the games of the week. Got some really good games this week, including a potential Titan matchup between the Titans and the Jets. Um, so that's interesting. Make sure you're streaming your games that's supposed to be streamed. That should be all your divisional games as well as the games of the week. If you can't stream because your internet's trash or because you don't have good connection with somebody or something like that happens, make sure you let one of the commissioners know. The commissioners are myself, the Bears user, CJ, he's the Seahawks, Adrian, he's the Ravens, Twan, he's the Titans, Dwayne, he's the Cowboys, Dean, he's the Packers, he's the head commish, and I'm missing somebody. And Savon, he's the Bengals. So make sure you message one of them if you've got some kind of issue or something like that. Also, make sure you're talking to one of them if you're interested in doing a predictions video, or if you are having complaints about gameplay by someone, if they're breaking rules or something like that. You can tag all of them in chat if you want to. That's what we're here to do, is to help out with that. Make sure you have proof, preferably, because if you're saying they did something and they're saying they didn't do something and you don't have proof, we're not going to be able to do anything for you. That's just what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. We'll start with the weekly awards. We'll start with the NFC side, so go ahead and take it away, Jimmy.
All right. First for NFC defense, we got Camden Andrews beating up on the Bears there with 190 turnovers. But that doesn't seem to matter because they also had 155 and for
Yeah, Jimmy, your mic's cutting out a lot. I don't know what's going on, bro. It's cutting out really, really bad.
that. Okay, 1 second. Let me try some. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
All right, and then we got Derek Stingley with 8 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown.
Yeah, on the AFC side, we got Will Shipley running back for the Bengals. 10 carries, 166 rushing yards, 16.6 yards per carry, 3 rushing touchdowns, and added a receiving touchdown as well. And then defensively, you got Sean Murphy, middle linebacker from the Texans. He had 5
Wow.
tackles, 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown.
Three
He
forced
balled out.
fumbles. God. Great games for everyone there. This is 2 weeks in a row that the NFC Offensive Player of the Week has been against me, so I got to get it figured out on that aspect. And defensively, Stingley sure did ball out. One thing I mentioned, I don't know if anybody saw it. Stingley's been on my team 4 years. He's got 99 man, 99 zone. He's like a 96 overall. That was his first ever pick six. Was in that game. I don't know how it hasn't happened or anything like that, but that was his first one ever there. So that was interesting. Good for him to get.
Because nobody got receivers to throw at.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go ahead and get into the yearly awards. Same thing. We'll start with the NFC side. Go ahead. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me start off the MVP. MVP race. Austin Eckler. He had a decent game for the new Chargers user. He did score 2 touchdowns, I believe. He's holding on to it. I know that none of us want to see the Bengals user win another MVP. He's got Jamie Newman right behind him. He's definitely built him up. Henry Ruggs as well behind him. And Coach of the Year, Jets. Then Broncos, then Texans at the moment. And Texans somehow at 5-9. I know since he's taken over though, he's like 5-1 or something. So I guess that's why he's so high. Up in there. Anyway, now to the NFC side.
All right, for NFC Offensive Player of the Year, we got backs. Tariq Cohen's been leading for the majority of the way, but I feel like these 4 are all pretty close. We got Tariq Cohen, obviously, Trey Sanders, Christian Turner, and Kylan Hill. Then on the defensive side, we have the ageless wonder Fletcher Cox, followed by Errol Thompson. Some linebacker, I think, for the Eagles. I'm not going to pronounce that name, and I don't even know him. And Hassan Reddick. Then offensive rookie, Raleek Brown, Emmanuel Henderson, Gunnar Stockton, Malik Murphy. Defensive rookie of the year, Kaon Sabb, Shamar Stewart, Devon Jackson, and Jonathan Flo.
Definitely everybody in that race gets some XP there. So got to keep pushing those players these last 2 weeks. AFC side.
AFC side offensive player of the year. You got Austin Eckler, Henry Ruggs, Zach McMichaels, and Jamie Newman. All guys that's in the MVP race right now. So, you know, a lot of ballers over there. I see. Uh, Defensive player of the year in the AFC, you got Chaz Surratt, N'Kobe Dean, Calais Von Chason, and Damani Steen. Offensive rookie of the year, Joseph Lewis from the Bengals leading the way. Shalake Knotts, Michael Drennan, the second, and Jermaine Terry. Defensive rookie of the year, Damani Steen, James Williams, both from the Bengals. Sean Murphy from the Texans, and Randolph Kapai from the Broncos.
Man, it looks like Savant's gonna rack up on these awards again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he continues to do it. I guess he's just force feeding all these people, no matter what he's got to do, offensively and defensively.
Man, he just meets the goals. Like, he goes into the player goals and just sees what they.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I really need to start doing that. Like, actually looking at what the players want to accomplish, not what you need to accomplish.
Yeah.
And Savant's always he manages to win games anyway, but he's always said that during the regular season, it's more about building players than winning games. If you get all your players' goals completed and finish 13-3, that's better than going 16-0. Anyway, nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the predictions here. I'm updating Daddy Leagues as we speak because I always forget to do it. But the first game is going to be the Browns and the Bengals. Browns are 8-6 at the moment. Just got eliminated from the playoffs this past week with a loss to the Ravens. The Bengals are 11-3. He is one game behind the Titans and the Jets. I'm not if the Jets were to lose to the Titans this week, he would have the tiebreaker over the Bengals if they had the same record. But if the Titans were to lose, I'm not sure who would win the tiebreaker between the Bengals and Titans. So there's still a potential chance for Savon to get a first-round bye here if Tuan came up short. And he took over that team. They were 0-2, I believe, and he's took them to 11-3. So he's been whooping people's asses with them. But it's going to be an interesting game. I know that Browns usually didn't have its right playbook. For the second year in a row, he's had two 1,000-yard running backs. Sony Michel, and I can't remember the other guy's first name, but his name's Robinson out of Texas. So I know that he's definitely going to bring the run game. Needs to slow the game down versus Savon. It's going to be interesting. CJ, we'll start with you here. Who you going to take in this game?
Oh, man. I don't know. Anderson, if he can run the ball, I don't think Savon's defense is built up yet. So if he can just run the rock, pound the ball, I think he could pull out a win here. Otherwise, I got to go with Savon. So it's really a toss-up, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Browns here.
All right, what about you, Jimmy?
Sorry to the Bengals. I know he's got a great running attack, but I think if you
You're cutting out super bad again, Jimmy. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Okay,
do you have a wireless mic?
No, it's connected. 1 second. Shit, I'm sorry, guys.
That's way better. Yeah, 1,000 times better, bro.
Oh, yeah, I switched my controller and mic. Okay, so what I was saying is, I just think to beat Savon, you got to be able to run and pass, keep him off. Just if he knows you're going to run, you're going to get stuffed in the backfield. Although he has the Bengals, it's not built up like that God Squad Jets. He's going to struggle, but I see Bengals by at least 3 scores.
Yeah, last time the two teams played, the Bengals won 45-10. I think that's probably a pretty good explanation to what's going to happen in this game, especially with the Browns' momentum being gone, a loss here. So I'm going to take the Bengals here to do a lot of damage on the Browns. Keep working on those players, getting awards. I think that maybe the game's close by halftime, but I'm going to take the Bengals here by a few scores, probably 14-21. Next, we got the Eagles at the Redskins. We also talked about this NFC East and how they beat the hell out of each other. Eagles are 9-5. He's one game up on the division over the Giants at the moment. Skins are 6-8 and eliminated from the playoffs. So, he's playing for pride here, playing to keep maybe the Eagles out the playoffs or keep one of his division rivals is not going to make it between the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys. So it'll be interesting to see who that is moving forward. I'm going to take the Eagles here. Defense is stellar on that side of the ball. I mean, just, we don't talk about it all that much because he's got all those receiving weapons. But the offense, I just got an update from Savon telling me that Rondale Moore is hurt for the Bengals. I don't think that's going to change any of our prediction on the game. It could be a little closer, but it's still gonna be probably Bengals in that one. Y'all want to change your pick now that Moore's hurt, or are you sticking with it?
Nope. Sorry, Browns.
Nah, same pick.
All right. As I was saying, with all those wide receiver weapons the Eagles have, we don't think about his defense, but they are really really good. And it all starts in the middle with their defensive tackle Fletcher Cox. I know the Skins like to run the ball. He's looking at back-to-back probably offensive rookie of the years for running backs. So it'll be interesting to see if he can continue that running success here. But I'm going to stick with Philly. What about you, Jimmy?
This is a toss-up. Two really even opponents, in my opinion. Um, I haven't played or I don't remember when I played the Eagles, but both played me pretty tough. I'm gonna go with the Eagles here as well. I just think more well-rounded team, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Eagles.
CJ?
Yeah, I gotta go with the Eagles as well. Uh, Fletcher Cox, man, he's a problem. He can single-handedly, just move guys. So
Yeah.
I think that pass rush is just gonna be too much.
All right. Next game is the Cardinals at the Panthers. Now this is interesting in one aspect. I know Jimmy, you told me that you were likely going to miss your Week 17 game, right? Or possibly
Yeah.
the divisional round as well. But you won't be playing the divisional round, so that won't matter. But so the Cardinals is who you play Week 17. So he's likely getting a force win, and if he wins both his games, he locks his playoff spot. So he's probably looking at if winning this game, guaranteeing he makes the playoffs. Unless y'all can manage to get that in sometime before you leave. I know it's possible as well. It'd be interesting to see how that develops moving forward. Cardinals, like I say, 7-6-1. He's got him and the 49ers the only tie on the season. Usually we have two or three, but he's the only tie on the season. Panthers user has definitely been more competitive than the old one, a lot more balanced offense. He's 2-12 at the moment, definitely battling for draft position. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays the Cards. I'm going to take the Cardinals here in a very close game. I think that he's got a strong running attack. Defense is better than the Panthers as well, especially in the backcourt and stuff like that. But both of y'all two know him better than anybody else, so I'm interested to see what y'all think is going to happen here. We'll start off with CJ, bro. Who do you think is going to take this game?
Yeah, I haven't seen this new Panthers user play, but Cardinals is a pretty good user all the way around, so I just got to go with Cardinals here, represent for the division.
All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, like you said, CJ, I don't know a whole lot about this new Panthers user, but I do know Cardinals very well. Uses Kylan Hill very effectively, and pretty solid defense as well. But I just got to go with the Cardinals here.
That's a fair assumption. Jury is still out on the Panthers side how good he is. Be interested to see how he does moving forward next season. Ravens and Packers, excuse me. These two know each other very well. They have been in the league together for a very long time. Chap and Dean. We're all excited to have Dean back. He got his first win over a team that will not be mentioned last week in overtime, 36-30. So that running quarterback is so effective, Camden Andrews. He doesn't even have a escape artist. He's so fast to deal with. So it'd be interesting to see if Dean gets a little bit of his own medicine this week playing against Lamar Jackson. Ravens beat the absolute dog shit out the Browns last week, 38-7. So he's rolling all cylinders. Doesn't look like he's going to make the playoffs just because specifically the AFC East is so good. It'd be interesting to see how he does moving forward. I think he's going to play tough, chap. He always plays people tough. I think I'm going to take the Ravens in a very close game here. I think because he uses Lamar, he's probably going to have a pretty good understanding of how to stop running quarterbacks. People do it against him. That being said, that seemed to be predominantly most of Dean's offense last week. I couldn't stop him. Excuse me, the unnamed user couldn't stop him. So it'll be interesting to see who that is. I'm going to take the Ravens here in a very close game. We'll start off with Jimmy. Who are you going to take in this one, man?
Yeah, Packers. I tuned into a little bit of that game against that unnamed user. It was a good game. I was surprised because I've actually never seen Dean play. So, two users I don't know particularly well. I'm gonna go with Dean here to take a close W. I think it's gonna be one score. He's gonna win by at least like 3, maybe 7.
All right, CJ.
I think Chap is gonna beat Dean's ass. No. It'll be a close game. Dean's always been a pretty good user. Chap as well. But I do think Chap will come out with a win on this one.
All right, I like it. Next, we have the 49ers at the Vikings. One second, let me pull up the records. We all were watching. I know there's a lot of people in there watching Twan's stream. He was very emphatic about getting off his stream. It was a real close game. Niners almost pulled off the victory. He plays in y'all's division, which is such a tough division. I'm pulling up his record at the moment. He is 5-8-1. Vikings are 6-8. I know I'm definitely pulling for the Niners to win this game. Two very similar users, absolute great defenses. With the run games being their strong side of their offense, definitely lean more on Vikings than the running side. I think it's gonna be a very close game between these two. I'm gonna take the Vikings by 3 to 7 points. Even though I hope he loses, I think that he's just got a little too much talent over there to lose this game. We'll start off. Both of you, like I said, know the Niners very well. So we'll start off with CJ on this one, bro. Who are you gonna take in this game?
I don't know, to be honest. If the Niners shows up to play, I think he'll get the win. But Hurt, he's a tough opponent too. He's getting his footing back after, jumping back into Madden. So I think it'll be a good game. But I'm going to take the Vikings in this one.
All right, Jimmy?
Like you said, the 49ers just played Twan really well. And I don't know what happened on the last possession. Down 3, about a minute left, 3 timeouts. I'm like, hell yeah, Niners, let's go get this dub. And he runs the ball and runs out the clock. I don't know if that's something for draft position,
I think,
like the Bills said.
Yeah, I tend to think that he was frustrated with the game. He can become very frustrated. I think he was just done with it because he was in man coverage on that it was kind of a wheel route to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and he just burnt the hell out his DB. So I think he was just upset with the game. But like you said, not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, and if it is because he wanted that draft position, then I can't see him going all out and trying to win this game. But I'm gonna take the Vikings here by a close game. I'm gonna say a 3 to 7, like you said.
Good pick. Next, we have the Chargers at the Chiefs. Chargers and Chiefs are both 7-7, both eliminated from the playoffs. This is more about just who's going to finish higher in the division, rivalry, smack talk, things like that. Chargers users, new guy, definitely trying to get his team figured out. More talent on that side of the ball, but Chiefs users is definitely accustomed to his team, and because of that, and he's still got some good offensive weapons and some things like that. I'm going to take the Chiefs here. He's a solid defensive user as well. I think he's going to win a very close game. We'll start off with Jimmy on this one. Jimmy, who are you going to take in this game?
Don't know too much about the Chargers either. He is new. So I'm just going to take the Chiefs just because I don't know too much about the Chargers. I do know that the Chiefs has Mahomes, and Mahomes Man 20 is a animal. So I'm just going to take the Chiefs.
All right, fair enough. QBs run the league and run Madden, definitely. CJ?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chiefs. I don't know much about the Chargers, but I'll pick the Chiefs in this one just based on him knowing his team a little bit better.
All right. Next we have the Texans at the Bills. Texans is 5-9. Bills are 11-3. Don't let the Texans fool you by the record. It's a new user. I believe he's 5-1 with this team. I don't think they had any wins when he picked them up. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays against his tough opponent here. Might be his first real opponent he's played. I'm not really sure. I have to check his schedule. Was the Vikings before, has a strong ground and pound run game, likes to play good defense. He's got Deshaun Watson now too, which will be interesting. But I think that E-Fly's team is one of more of the underrated and not talked about built teams in this league, especially with trades and things like that. He's really worked it out to get the team exactly where he wants it. He's got strong receivers. He's got a good running game, a solid defense, especially his defensive ends and defensive line. So I'm going to take E-Fly here, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but I mean more than 10 points probably. He's playing really good football right now. So we'll start off with CJ here. Who are you going to take here?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills here. E-Fly is a pretty good user. I played him recently in another league, and I think he thrashed me. So I'm go ahead and take the Bills in this one.
All right, Jimmy.
Quick question: was Sosa that guy with the Vikings who would rush for like 300 yards and then throw for like 24?
Yes, every single game. He had games where Marcus Mariota would throw for 3 yards, but 42 carries for 300 yards with his running back.
Okay. That's the Vikings user was. I'm like you both said. I'm gonna stick with the Bills here. Good receiving core. He's got that D line, that front seven built up the way he wants it. I see Bills here by about 2 scores.
All right. Next we have Steelers at Lions. Steelers 2-12, Lions 5-9. Lions is taking the season off basically. He's got a lot going on. Steelers has been spotty with his games. And he's trying to get them in. Everybody's kind of transitioning back to working and things like that. The game won't get played. It'll be a Steelers force win unless he doesn't want the force win. In that case, it'll be a fair sim. So nothing really to talk about there. Next we have the Jaguars at the Raiders. Jags are 4-10. Raiders are 3-11. Jags user is actually playing his games, but his PS4 is, his phone is broken at the moment. So you have to message him on PS4. See money. And both these teams have a down years for sure. This is about draft position, or is this about pride getting the win? Who knows if the game gets played. I'm gonna take the Jags if the game does get played. If it's a fair sim, I mean, who knows? But Jaguars user he's got a solid offense, good defense, good run game. C-Money's been struggling offensively this year. We'll start off with CJ here. You can take CJ.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags in this one as well. I haven't seen C-Money a lot lately, so I'll take the Jags.
Jimmy?
Yeah, the Jags beat unnamed team from LA earlier in the year. Pretty bad, honestly. He played me well. Actually, no, not me. But I'm going to take the Jaguars here. Like you said, CJ, I don't know a whole lot about C-Money and the Raiders. I'm just going to go with the Jaguars here.
Good safe pick. Next, we got the Patriots at the Dolphins. Jay, he's been hitting me with shit every single week he gets a W. At the beginning of the year, I predicted him not to make the playoffs from that division. It's a tough division, but he's proved me wrong. Team's 10-4. Dolphins 6-8. Definitely a solid user. Strong run game. He plays people tough. Just had a down year this year. Did make playoffs last year in his first year with the league. I think he'll play. The Pats tough, but they're just rolling on all cylinders. Hotter than maybe any team in the league right now. I'm going to take the Patriots to get the W here for sure. Jimmy, what about you?
I'm just gonna. The Patriots are kind of a weird team, in a way. Like they'll dominate a team one week and then just lose to a team like the Dolphins here this week. Patriots are a strong user. We all know he plays in probably the toughest division. I like the Patriots here. I don't know how these teams have played in their past matchups, but I'm gonna take the Patriots here by a couple scores.
All right, CJ.
Take the Patriots here. I haven't ever really seen the Dolphins play, like watch their stream, but I know J Drop is a real good user, so I'm going to take the Patriots over the Dolphins here.
Next we got the Colts at the Broncos. Colts is 4-10, Broncos 10-4. We know how good the Broncos user is. He's definitely building this team up. Rolling very well. This team's playing really good football right now. Colts he did beat a very talented Chargers user we had before he left the league. So maybe he'll play better. But then last week he got absolutely murdered by Savon, 62-0. So it's gonna be hit or miss. He plays good defense. Offense is anemic at best. I think that the Broncos have lots of speed, and he should dominate this game. I'm going to take him probably 20 or 30 points, to be honest. We'll start off with CJ here. Who are you going to take in this game,
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos in this one. Don't even think it'll be close, to be honest. Colts knows his team. He's a decent user when he plays, but I think the Broncos gonna just have their way this week.
All right, Jimmy?
Yeah, not too much to say about this one. I think that the Broncos will have this win very easily. No hate Colts, but Broncos is a very good user.
All right, we're going to skip over the next three because those are the three games of the week. We'll go down to Saints at Seahawks. Both these teams 6-8. Both these teams generally can be playoff users, sporadic with their games. Very similar teams, except for how they play the game. Saints is more of a running team. Seattle more of a passing team. I would say that Seattle's defense has greatly improved this year. In years past, I would say the Saints user is generally a better defensive user. So it's going to be really interesting here. For me, it's going to come down to who has the most success on the offensive side of the ball. I think that I'm going to take Seattle here. He played you really tough last week, Jimmy. CJ plays really, really tough football, and Saints has been up and down these past few weeks. So I'm going to take Seattle here. We'll start with Jimmy here, and then we'll come to you, CJ, on this one.
Two very even teams, but I'm gonna take the Seahawks here as well. Seahawks, whenever we play, we have good games. I just that team in Seattle. I like look over before the game of the superstars and superstar X Factors. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how's that possible? I mean, that team is loaded, but I think this game is going to come down to who can limit turnovers. I think with the team with the best third down percentage and the least turnovers is going to win this game.
That's right on point. All right, CJ, man of the hour. What do you think?
Man, I'm finna blow G Money out.
Wow.
Ain't gonna be close. Hey, look, I'm trying to put up 50.
Wow.
I'm gonna put up 50. Yeah, cause I'm tired of losing to people and y'all not putting no respect on my name when it comes to this top 10 conversation. So I gotta blow them out.
CJ took it to heart in chat. Twan was talking about his top 10, I guess. I definitely like to see the confidence for sure. Next, we got a good heated rivalry here: Falcons and Bucks. Falcons 9-5, Bucks are 6-8, eliminated from the playoffs. That team is still stacked as fuck. Basically everywhere but the QB position. I think that Noop is a better user. This team is definitely gonna be a tough game. Noop he's been up and down this season. How well he's playing against people. He's got 5 losses. Other than the year he took off, that's the most he's ever had in the season. So it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. I'm going to take the Falcons here, still though nonetheless by 7 to 10 points. Should be a decently close game. Bucks user's not a pushover by any means. Had some good seasons with the Chiefs back in like year 1, year 2, things like that. So we'll start off with CJ here. Are you taking the Bucks or the Falcons?
I'm gonna take Newt, man. I'm sure he gonna complain about like 5 or 6 different rules violations on the way, but yeah, I'm gonna take Newt in this one. But GA he's a tough user, so I think it'll be a close game.
All right, Jimmy.
I'm gonna take Noop here as well, but this could be an interesting game because Buccaneers beat the Cardinals last week pretty handily, and I don't know. The Falcons have dropped a couple easy wins as of late. This could be a good game, but just as I haven't seen too much of GA's finest, I'm just gonna stick with Noop here.
All right. We'll work our way back up on the games of the week. We'll start with the Giants at the Rams. Giants are 8-6. Rams are 11-3. Jimmy, you're in position basically where you can clinch this one seed. Definitely need to start off with a win here. Peso needs to keep winning if he's going to hold on to his wild card spot or possibly even win the division. He's game back on the Eagles, so he definitely needs to win. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes. I think that the Rams have a much more balanced offensive attack and generally better on defense as well. Can struggle against the passing game sometimes, I feel like. Really stout, good run defense. I think that's what the Giants, their offense is. So I think he's going to struggle there. So I'm going to take the Rams here by about 14 points. Maybe a little less. Peso's no pushover. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I don't know here. I gotta go with the Rams, man. Just he's a tough opponent. I don't, I don't know too much about Peso. I think I played him once or twice. He's a tough opponent too. But that Rams defense, man, it's I don't know the way he moves people around. They just in the right spot all the time. So I gotta go with the Rams right now.
I like it. All right, Jimmy, what about you? You picking the Giants to win?
I know I'm not. I've only picked not myself once, and that was in our game. I think it was last year. Anyway, it's gonna be a good game. Giants, by no means, is a bad user. 8-6 this year, I believe. This is an important game. Do I clinch a 1 seed if I win this game?
No, because um, let me pull back out the standings. You would let's say if you won this game, then you forced lost the last game. You would finish 12-4. And let's say I were to win my last two games of the Cowboys and the Saints, I would also finish 12-4. Our NFC records would be the same as well. Both of us would be 9-3. And so it was that long, huge tiebreaker that we've got. I
Yeah.
mean, it's insane. It goes down to like the fifth or sixth one on the list. I don't even have a way to compute it right now. I'd have to go through every single team and see every single team's record and add up your wins records, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
So I will probably do that next week. I will go through it. Probably only take me 20 or 30 minutes to go through it all. So I'll probably do that. But I don't have a way to tell you if you'd clinch or not. Um,
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna win this game, but I do think it's gonna be very close. I think I'll only win by maybe a score, maybe two. I just gotta shut down Saquon. I believe he has Alvin Kamara as well. It's a pretty good backfield.
does it really?
But
Wow.
I think it's gonna be a very good game.
Don't forget about his 99 overall QB, Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, fun stuff. Next we have the Cowboys at the Bears. Cowboys 7-7. Bears are 10-4. Definitely need to keep winning in Chicago if we got a chance at that one seed. Cowboys only half game back on the Cardinals for the last wild card spot, so he definitely needs to get a win here, especially with the current situation in the Cards next week. So and Dwayne's going to play me tough. He's going to run the ball. I think if he limits his turnovers in this game, it's going to be a very close game. Uh, Dwayne did beat me once a few seasons ago in a real close, low-scoring game. I did score in the last play of the game, but I got called back on a holding penalty. It was really disappointing. Um, so, Dwayne, he plays tough. He runs the ball. I can struggle against the run sometimes. I'm really set up more to stop the pass. So it's going to be really an interesting game. I think I'm going to take Chicago here. Close game, though, by about 10, I'm going to say. We're going to force some turnovers, I think, and that's going to be the difference in the game. All right, Jimmy?
All right. I'm not actually gonna have to worry about uh that whole 1 seed thing because Dwayne is catching this dub this week. Dwayne, a little upset here in Chicago. I think it's gonna come down to possibly the last play of the game, but I'm taking the upset here. I'm taking Cowboys by one possession.
I like it. CJ?
Yeah, man. I was actually about to pick the Cowboys in the upset
Wow.
as well. I think it's gonna be a really close game. It's gonna come down to the last possession or overtime. Uh, I think the Cowboys will win on last second field goal by 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remind y'all who I am and how well I play. We've been slacking the past few years, but I'm gonna have to like really lean forward and play this game. All right. I figured one of you would take the upset. I didn't think both of you. All right, so I'm a little hurt by that one, but we'll move forward. And the perennial matchup of the week, something I know everybody's looking forward to. I'm definitely going to be watching this game. I don't care what time it is. Titans and Jets, both teams 12-2. These teams have met before in playoff games whenever the Jets user was the Chargers, so they know each other very well. Both teams set up very well. One thing I will say is Twan has been a little turnover heavy these past few weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how he moves forward. That definitely, I say it every week, and I don't think he listens to me anytime I say it. You gotta get back to running the football, man. The best Titans years were those first few seasons whenever he was ground and pound football. I mean, running the ball down people's throat. So I think if he gets back to that and can pass on the side, that he's gonna have a lot more success. Um, Jets user did take a tough loss to the Bills last week or the week before last week. Oh no, he lost to the Pats last week and he lost to the Bills like 3 weeks ago. So he's kind of sputtering. People are kind of starting to figure him out. I think that Twan's gonna have a really good chance to win this game. He plays somewhat similar to the Patriots user. So I think, man, it's going to be tough. I'm going to take the Jets by 3. I'm saying last second field goal. I'm saying that Twan will have the lead probably, and he'll make a turnover in the fourth quarter because he's not running the football. And I'll take the Jets by 3 here. All right, we'll start with CJ here. Who you going to take, bro?
No, I'm going with my boy Twan here, man. Like I said, that Jets user, man, he inherited that team, and it's 99 overall, but he gonna have to show me some skill this week.
Yep.
Because yeah, Twan's a tough opponent, man. He knows how to use his Titans, so I'm picking the Titans in this one. Close game though.
Jimmy?
I am actually going to go with the Jets here. This is going to be a great game. Definitely tuning into this one. Twan has kind of struggled these past 2 weeks. I was looking back at his schedule. He lost 3 out of 4. All 3 of his losses have come to the NFC West. Me, CJ, and... Or no! He didn't lose to the Niners. I was already calculating that in my head. Whoa. So,
yeah, you blew him out a few weeks ago, though. I saw that, 42-14.
Yeah, but I mean that game was still close, and the Niners, I mean, aren't particularly a playoff team or an above 500 team. That should be a game that Twan should have easily. So that Jets team, we all know how good that is. I like the Jets here, but definitely gonna be a close one.
I like it. All right, we're going to go into not a full playoff breakdown because there's so many, especially in the NFC, there's so many different ways things could land and roll. Usually, and the first, I don't know, 5 seasons you'd say, the NFC was the tougher side. A lot more tough opponents, games being played, stuff like that. A lot more variant people making playoffs. AFC has definitely been the dominating side of this team. There's already, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excuse me, I was looking at both. I'm an idiot. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different teams. All 6 of the playoffs teams have got 10 wins already on the AFC side, so they're playing very well. NFC side, you look at it, only 2 teams have 10 wins. So on the AFC side, currently the Titans hold the 1 seed, 12-2. Jets hold the 2 seed, 12-2. Winner is going to guarantee and clinch the 1 seed this week. So that's why it's such an important game. Like I said, if the Titans were to lose, he didn't play the Bengals this year, and he is 10. Oh, there goes CJ. I guess he lagged out. So it wouldn't matter if the Titans lost this week. He's going to have a tiebreaker over the Bengals because they didn't play during the season. So these teams will be the 1 and the 2 seed. Bengals basically locked into the 3. Then, assuming he doesn't blow one of these games, he's 11-3. Broncos locked into the 4. He's 10-4. And the 2 wild card spots, I don't know why it's not showing up on Madden, but Pats just clinched the wild card spot as well because he beat the Browns. Bills are 11-3 in the 5 seed. Pats are 10-4 in the 6 seed. I believe these 2 teams split their games, so I'm not sure who it would go down to if the Pats were to tie him. NFC side is a lot more interesting. Rams hold the 1 seed for the moment, 11-3. We know it's likely going to be at best 12-4. Maybe you'll get your game, maybe you won't. I know that both of us want to get the 1 seed. We all talk about Noop and how we've beaten him and things like that, and the Bears record, against him. But nobody wants to play the Falcons in the second round of the playoffs. They definitely would like to play anyone else. So be interested to see how that goes. I'm actually in a position where I could lose the bye to the Falcons as well if I were to drop some games up. Let me go look at the NFC. Yeah, see, Noob's got a 9-1 record, and I have a 7-3 record versus the NFC. So if I was to tie Noob, if I was to lose one of these last 2 games, he would get the 2 seed, and I would get the 3, which would be super disappointing on my end. But so that's the situation. Bears, Falcons. He's also tied with the Eagles for the 4 seed. So if he were to drop a game, the Eagles would win out. The Eagles would get the 3 seed. So you can see it's really crazy here. Eagles also still have a chance at the 2 seed, I believe, if somehow both me and Noop would have to lose out, I believe, or at least lose one. The Eagles would have to win out. It would just be crazy because he's not going to have the tiebreaker over anybody. So yeah, he'd have to win both. I'd have to lose both, and the Falcons would have to only win one. Giants currently in the 5 seed at 8-6. He is one game. He has a tiebreaker over the Cowboys. So if those two tie at 9-7, it could be it. He would get in. Cards in the last spot 7-6-1. The tie has saved him over the Cowboys for the moment. Half game back. I know Dwayne is. He's got me and the Broncos left, so it's two tough tests. If he does manage to win them both, he's got a good shot to make the playoffs. I think. Giants have a tough last 2 games. I think he plays the Rams and then the Falcons or something like that. So he's got a rough finish to the year. Definitely needs to get it figured out. And then like I said, the Cowboys are the only team on the outside looking in right now. So that's it for the playoff breakdown. I'll have a more in-depth breakdown of what exactly everybody needs to happen next week. Go ahead and get that written down, things like that. Make sure everybody's getting their games played and you're streaming your games that are supposed to be streamed. And glad to have everybody here. All right, that's going to be it.